Good morning, everyone. This is going to be a tough one. I'm not really even sure what to say. Uh, um, if you guys haven't heard, Trump, there was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, and I'm just kind of running through things in my head, and I thought maybe do a live stream, do a morning hullabaloo, and see what you guys have to say, and kind of maybe work through some stuff. For me, I mean, there's just a lot of things that are going on. I mean, one of the amazing things that came out of it is I watched this stuff almost live, and I was shocked. I was appalled. I was disgusted. I was worried. I was stressed, and then all of a sudden, Donald Trump gets up and pumps his fist and says, "Fight, fight, fight." And I was like, holy shit, man. Just thinking about it right now. I'm getting a little emotional. What an amazing man. I mean, it was the exact right thing to do. And I'll tell you right now, you know how they say under fire make the right decisions? That dude was literally under fire, and I think he made the right decisions. And I don't think he meant like fight, your neighbors, fight. He just meant fight evil, fight bad, fight the good fight. I am really sick to death of this left right bullshit. The Democrats. Um, I, I'm sorry if you're a Democrat. I was registered a Democrat. I never had a problem with the left or right until recently, and I don't know what this Democratic Party is, but they seem hell bent, and their morality and even their brain way of thinking, I can't even relate to it. I can't even begin to relate to how they think. Things that they say, they seem completely unrelatable to me. So I have a real hard time with it. I'm a pretty fair-minded individual, and I have tried to understand the other point of view. I can't. I can't. Not on any level can I. There's nothing about it that I can relate to, and there's nothing about it that I see any merit in. I just see division and a power grab and all kinds of really negative, horrible things. But I don't see bringing the country together, and I don't see any of that stuff. But there's a weird thing in the world where there's always been hypocrites, but it's almost like the the Democrats, they say one thing and it's exactly what they are, but they think if they say it, then they're exempt from it. They can say the most ridiculous, asinine things, and then somehow it doesn't come back on them. But it does. I mean, if you listen to them, almost always, they'll tell you exactly what they're doing. The whole thing that's a problem is they shut the other side out. They shut any kind of conversation. They shut everything down so you can't have a discussion with them. They'll call you names and they'll cancel you and they shut you down. And it's the equivalence of the kid putting his fingers in his ears and saying, "I can't hear you, I can't hear you." I mean, they play that game because they have to, because they know that in any reasonable world, that if there was a debate, a real debate, a fair debate, a conversation, their ideas and these things wouldn't hold up at all. I'm drinking my OJ. Yeah. So anyway, I know I'm starting off with a heavy, heavy topic, but I just felt like these morning hullabaloos are usually a lot of back and forth, and maybe you guys have some insight. I do want to talk about the security team and how they handled everything. Um, I have the most thoughts about that, and also before I go any further, um, I really do. My heart goes out to the people that were shot, the man that was killed. Um, it shouldn't have happened, but I'll get into that in a bit. Um, you're just going out there and you're trying to support the man that you think is going to represent you the best and do what you want, or how you want America to be shaped. And you're there supporting your candidate, and then you get shot dead, and then others are critical, just for something that should have been and seemingly was a celebration. Also, I did really like that the people the people didn't run. Like, that's why I thought, like, when I first saw it, I thought something's weird going on here. Like, the people aren't running. I thought that even if I was in the crowd, especially when I saw the president go down, um, that there would be running away. Like, I mean, there was ducking, but there wasn't anybody like running, like scattering. And I thought that was kind of unusual. And then when Trump stood up, they all stood up and they were like USA, USA, and then there was this chant. And I'm telling you, the world doesn't have to be as bad as it is. There's people that aren't putting America first, and they're putting foreign interests and this global initiative and all these things, before America. Um, to be honest, I don't give a shit about any of that. I don't. I don't care. Um, I'm an American. I live in America. And also, I live in America by choice. If I wanted to, I could live in another country, but I don't want to. I want to live here. So let me touch base with you guys, see what you're up to. Praetor7 says, good morning, leg kick, hail. We got Joe Bernardo in the house. Aloha. Let's see. We got Paulus Arts, hail. Let's see. I just got pushed into voting for the first time in 20 years. Good man, good man. It does make a difference. When there's people that say I don't vote or whatever, and I say, well, you might think that you're protesting, and I've had this thought too before. You might think you're protesting, and it's like you're sending a signal. But actually, if you were a power crazed person and you just cared about winning, I don't think if you could take a bunch of people out of the equation and just have a select few vote for you, that's all they care about, and so when you don't vote, it's like then they just have to kind of represent the people that do vote. They're just going to care about those people. They're not going to care about everybody. And also, I think if you don't vote, how much longer do you think it'll take before they just eradicate that? And if they do, it's really the only thing we as Americans have to say our piece. There's local governments and stuff, and that's probably where we should spend most of our time. But I think if you don't vote and you're not heard, then it'll just be a question of time before they just take that away, as well as just every other freedom that they seem to be trying to eradicate. Edwin the Ace says, wild times we are living in. Yeah, Trump announcing his VP. I'm really hoping it's Tulsi Gabbard. I don't think it will be, but I'm thinking that's what I want. I think she would bring integrity to everything. And also, what I'm thinking is, Trump has 4 years, but if he got a vice president in there that could continue the cause, I don't like saying it, continue the good work, then we would have what would that be, 12 years? We could potentially have 12 years, with the same kind of ideas, and these things take time to implement. 4 years isn't that long to affect any real change. Not when you have a system that's so ingrained and done a certain way. Changing or cleaning house would be a monumental job. And I just want to say, I don't think that Donald Trump is going to take care of all of our problems. I'm not going to put that much on one individual, because I just don't think that that's very realistic. I'm not even sure that like I really wanted him to stand up more to Anthony Fauci and some of that stuff in the day. And he kind of did, but he kind of didn't. So, I don't want to put too much on the guy, and like he's going to take care of everything, and all that's wrong will be right. But I think if he had a good vice president that agreed with his philosophies, his ideas, and could carry them out afterwards, and was very charismatic and a leader, I think Tulsi Gabbard is that. I've heard other names that have been thrown out there for vice president, but I don't really know who those people are. Darren Wagner says, if you want to know what the left is up to at any given time, just listen to what they accuse the right of doing. Exactly. This is from their playbook, Rules for Radicals. Exactly. There's always that person, and this person that will, basically say all these things, and them, and everything that they're saying is basically describing their character and who they are. But they really feel if they point out these things, then somehow they become the authority on them, and then they're exempt from it. Like you're so stupid, you won't see their true nature. And I think there's a lot of arrogance on the half of the Democrats. I always ask myself a couple questions. It's like, who are the people that are really following these people and would fight and die for, like a Joe Biden or somebody like that? Like this guy is so clearly, Joe Biden, our president, is so clearly out to lunch, and they still tell lies, so they still believe lies about the guy. That's absurd. And then the other thing that I say now, I used to just go with like, why is this happening? What's going on? All that stuff. Why are they doing this? And now I think it's clear. I mean, I think the debates showed that a lot of mainstream people that aren't involved with politics watch those debates and plug in, and saw that the president clearly wasn't coherent. He wasn't there. And so I heard something like 75% or more of Americans were polled after and said that they don't think he should be president anymore, that he's not fit. And I think, okay, there's 75%, but who are the 25%? Who are the people that still aren't clear that he can do his job? I wouldn't even drive that. I wouldn't even ask that guy to drive me to the airport. But then the question now that I ask is like, okay, the truth is out there, right? It's clear. Like even those shrews on The View, they know the truth. Reasonable people, or just even unreasonable people, have to know at this point that this charade is over. This game is done. It's played. You can't keep lying to the American public. They're not going to buy it. They've seen with their own eyes, you know. Um, but then the question is, what do we do? What do we do about it? Okay, so you know these things are happening. How many more? It's like we're still trying to information gather, right? We're still trying to go, okay, well, this is a problem. We need more proof. We need to, create a case against this person. No, I think at this point it's self-evident. It is crystal clear uh, that Joe Biden is not fit for office. He's not fit for most things right now. I feel bad for him, but we all have to play the cards that we're dealt with. Everybody has their own cross to bear, and this is his. But I think he should step down. I think the people around him should advise him to step down. If they go, well, Kamala Harris isn't fit or whatever, well, then you shouldn't have picked her. So then if that's your concern, then you back the lame duck. You made all the wrong decisions for some kind of diversity or something like that, or so you could get credit to be, the first party to hire a woman to be vice president. Like, I don't know, like, if that means that much to you. I'm sure there are a lot of women out there like Tulsi Gabbard that you could have picked. I mean, she was a Democrat, but you chose, Kamala Harris. And so if you are indeed afraid of her becoming in power, then that's once again, that's really bad judgment, and you shouldn't be president. If you pick such a lame duck to back your play and somebody who can't do the job, then that's on you. But like I said, now it comes down to, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? Right? We all know it. We all complain about it. We all say it. But what do we do? Do we just keep talking about it and getting clicks on our YouTube or on our social media? Well, what do we do? Do we write a congressman? What do we do? Like, one of the things I've been doing for the last couple of days since the assassination attempt on Donald Trump is just any pro-Trump stuff I can find that I agree with, I've been liking. So I don't know if that affects algorithms. I don't know, but I that's how I'm trying to send a message. So whoever keeps score of this stuff can keep score, and then that's my vote, right? That's my vote that Donald Trump should be the next president of the United States. So, and then there's going to be the literal vote. But let's see, Praetor 7. Yeah, I noticed that no one ran too. Thought it was interesting. Yeah, David B. The kind of people in the crowd are not the type to panic. I found that out. Pedro Eng says people didn't run because they were busy filming with their phones. Maybe. I mean, there was some good coverage. There's that iconic photograph of oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional. Of Donald Trump just yelling fight, fight, that kind of thing. Flatty says good morning right back at you. Ron Paul, 2012. Was that the debates? I forget what that was. I don't live in America because I hate walking. Let's see, Joe says, I'm proud to be an American first generation, born in this great country. When you discuss my heritage, I always say it's not Philippine American, it's American first. Always America first. Yeah. We all came from somewhere. My dad's French Canadian. My mom is second or third generation Portuguese. I mean, we all came from somewhere. And my dad grew up in an Italian neighborhood, and he wasn't Italian, and he was beat up all the time. My cousins grew up in Long Beach in Signal Hill. They went to a predominant black. They went to black schools, and they're white, and they got beat up all the time. Like, it's whatever. Hell to the chat. Yes, Marcus Killigrew is in the house. Let's see what Paula says. It's possible, LOL. I probably get asked about it once a week. Let's see what the whack ass says. He didn't at all. He did project war speed. Let's see. Kino says, never in my lifetime have I ever seen anything like this before. I'm still lost for words. Yeah, that's why I wanted to fire up this live stream and just kind of, work through some stuff. Like I said, I still want to get into the shooters, or the shooter and the security, most of the security. Antonio Cardenas says, when are we going to admit that letting women have the vote was a bad idea? Yeah, I don't know about that, but I think some of the diversity hires, might be a bad thing. I think if there's a criteria and there's a bar that's set, I think that male, female, whatever nationality, if you can meet that demand and you can step up, then you should have the job. I think it should be merit based, and I'm not saying all women, can't do certain things, but there is a disadvantage. And if you lower the bar to accommodate the disadvantage, then who are you serving? You're probably putting that poor person in harm's way, because they can't really do the job the way a man could. And I'm talking about more like just strength and size and all those other things. But at the same time, they might not even be qualified in other ways. So you might be going, well, we have these other qualified people, but we need to diversity hire. So we're going to put those people aside, and then because we need to meet this new criteria, we're going to hire these people. Well, who's suffering? Everybody's suffering. You're bringing the level of quality down to meet some kind of diversity demand that you've created. And I just don't think, just practicality and just logic, it's not a good idea to do that. There's always that discussion, like, well, if a fireman or a firefighter, and it's a woman and she can't carry out, a 95-pound person out of a burning building. Well, or her partner. Oh my gosh, do you imagine being partnered with somebody that couldn't carry you out if you collapsed or something happened? They would have to let you stay there and let you die. That's horrible, so I don't even know if that's a real accurate. I've just heard people say that before. So who are you serving? You're not serving that individual anymore, and you're not serving her partner, and you're not serving the person that you're there to save their life. So it's really kind of ass backwards. It doesn't make any sense. Emerald Whack asked, they chose the only person who couldn't unseat Biden, Kamala. Yeah, well, fine, play that stupid ass game. But ultimately, who wins, who loses? Like, you win, you self-centered asshole. You win. You have this incompetent person to make you look good, or to ensure that you're always going to be in power, or whatever stupid, insecure reasons you chose. But it doesn't serve anybody other than you as in Joe Biden. Kino says, I don't Tulsi Gabbard look at her voting record regarding gun control. Plus, she ran scared from the LPNH last year. She was afraid to answer the tough questions. I'd like to see that because I've never seen her kind of run from tough questions before, but maybe they were always controlled, interviews. So I don't know. I mean, everybody has their pluses and everybody has their minuses. Let's see. It was hard to tell what happened in the moment. Yeah. Pedro's a big fan of Ron Paul. Someone has to ask the 5'6" female Secret Service agent is supposed to cover a 3'6" man. Yeah, it almost looked like she was hugging him, like, and also she looked like she was saying a prayer, like "Don't shoot me." Like she looked scared. She looked like she was holding on to him for comfort instead of like really, And also they just kind of they look like they look confused. They look like the Keystone Cops. That's an old reference, just kind of bouncing off each other and trying to figure out what to do. Richard Dupe, what's up? Good morning, Art. Pedro says, I don't want to be hired because I'm Black or Latino. It has nothing to do with drawing. Exactly. Praetor he's just being honest. So let's not judge him. He's just being honest. Pedro, I'm only friends with you to fill my brown quota. That also doesn't sound quite right. Yeah, the plump one looked scared. It was like a Chris Farley sketch. And then one couldn't holster her gun. She was so frazzled. Like, this is what you train for. Like, well, we'll get into it. But this is what you train for. It seems like the training would kick in. Like, yeah, I'm a drummer. I played in bands. And the time to work out things isn't when you're on stage playing in front of a crowd. Like you practice. So these songs are like second nature. Like you're not even thinking about them, so you're kind of in the moment. You're playing to the crowd, you're having a good time, but you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just kind of doing it because of all the rehearsal. So you would think like these people would be somewhat of a well-oiled machine. Instead, they were kind of like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's going on? And I do know that like Donald Trump should, like, their training probably doesn't cover like the guy that just got shot wants to get up, like I'm sure, but if it's not in their training, it sure as hell should be now, because when a 6'3" guy wants to stand up, and he's full of adrenaline and just been shot, there's not a whole lot you're going to be able to do, and so yeah, so maybe they just weren't. And I'm not making excuses, you guys. I'm just kind of spitballing things out loud, while I'm thinking with you. But maybe he just wasn't supposed to stand up. Maybe he was supposed to stay behind or low to the ground behind the podium, cowering in fear. But that's not what he did. Even as a dude, it's incredible. Yes, a completely limp body of a full-size male. Even with, well, we got a dog, and uh, in California, R.I.P. Flora. She was a great dog. She got bit by a rattlesnake, and trying to carry her. I wasn't even there. I was actually in Texas doing a convention, but um, it was my wife and my daughter, and they had to get a friend over to pick that dog up. And the dog's about the size of Arrow, but if Arrow went limp, I could do it, but it would be really tough. Yeah, I got it. Don't trust her. My bad. Chelsea has some bad takes, but she is better than most. Yeah, and I think she's also kind of, I don't know a better way to say it, but like a redemption arc. Like she left the Democratic Party and stuff like that, and she's been telling some truth bombs about like Hillary and stuff like and things like that that have happened. And so, you know, there's always this transition. There's like what you thought was important, and then you kind of realize that those people that you thought you were in line with weren't. You weren't in line with them. They were horrible people or whatever. So I kind of like that part of it. Yeah, same. But I haven't heard his name being brought up as vice president. We got Kevin Thompson in the house. Hey, hey, hey. All right. I'm going to do some business here because I got to get some eyes on my campaign. I feel last week wasn't very productive. We had a hurricane blow through here, so we've been trying to, just kind of exist for a few days without power, and then just kind of take care of all the broken stuff and clean up all the debris and everything. We had a big tree fall across the driveway, so Pamela did a lot of it, and I did all the heavy. So I cut up the tree, and she got the smaller limbs and moved them to the side so we could get the car out. So it's been a series of things like that, and but it's all clear now. I mean, everything's almost back to normal. There's still people in the area that don't have their power. So I know Greg Abbott is kind of railing right now against the power company. But anyway, I do feel like I haven't been giving this attention. And so if there's anybody in the chat that hasn't at least checked this out, the link is in the description. I'll add the link when I come back. I'll put it into the chat, and see if we can get some people to check out Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. This is my art book. This is a lavish hardbound art book showcasing the various creative sides of me. So you're at 9,723. This would be so amazing if we could get to 10 grand by day's end. 68 backers, 47 days left. We're starting week 3 today. So 2 weeks down. Help me get the word out, you guys, on social media. And if you haven't backed, like I said, come by, check it out. If there's something you like, then back it. Also, this book is pretty much done. I have some new pages to add, but the files are all ready for the printer. I just have to add those new pages. And so it shouldn't take that long. So this will go out to print probably within the next month. And so it'll probably take about a month to get it back. So we'll be shipping shortly after that. So that's the plan, at least at this moment in time. So you don't have to wait too long for the book, is what I'm trying to say. So 60 pages of glossy stock. It is a 9x12. It's hardcover. So this is a beautiful, beautiful book, you guys. I'm very, very proud of this thing. I do feel kind of like after 40 years that this is a natural progression to kind of do a compilation of my work. So this represents 40 years of my career in comics. So Oodles is filled with images that come from Arts, Marvel, DC, Image, and Comicsgate days. There are also condoodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs, and pop culture visuals galore. Art style has been honed to perfection after over 40 years in the comic industry and viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Yes, indeedy do. We have a quote from a living legend, which is Kevin Nolan. Come by, check that out. This fantastic Batman image that Kevin and I put together here. I'm so thankful that happened. It's pretty amazing. And so here is an example of some of the interior pages, you guys. So as you can see, it's got a lot of different territory. So there's many different sides of my drawing skills that are represented in this book. So you can see very realistic, which is, the Captain Kirk image. Also, that's the pop culture stuff, Gigantor, pop culture. That's my ink and ink wash over the great Mike Mignola, Gigantor there. I'm glad that thing's in there. But you can see it's a completely different style. It's Mike's style, but, I can work in that style. And then we got Ethan Van Sciver's Cyber Frog in there. We got Gemshock. We got Mandy Summers and Del Keown's Gem Shock. Sorry, guys. Then we have the Graveyard Shift character Lilith from John Malin and Mark Poulton there. In the lower right corner, we got some stuff from the early 90s. This is Cable from my Cable run at Marvel. I did the ongoing series with Fabian Nicieza. And so this was used for the promotion, but this is a reimagining of the image. And the only place you're going to get this in printed form is in this book. So then here's some of the creator-owned IPs. This is a show called Hit that I did for Adult Swim and Spike TV. And yeah, you can see the various styles that I can work in. And then we have Billy Tucci's She, Work in Progress. Big, huge black and white image of She there. Pretty killer, pretty cool. And we have all kinds of neat prints. We have the Pit print. I'm not going to try to say it 3 times. Thank you, Del Keown, for letting me do that. And then Meet Juju, this 11x17 print for this campaign. This is commemorative. This is for the 30th anniversary of Black and White. So we're celebrating 30 years. Coming this October will be 30 years of Black and White. So it will have existed for 30 years, published first through Image Comics. Yeah. So this is the new big bad for the storyline. So Volume 3, Sins of the Father, this will be one of the big bads. So little teaser there for the upcoming Volume 3. We have all kinds of cool prints that we're offering here. So this is set A. And just remember, all the tiers come with a book, and the book is signed and numbered. So set B here. These are prints. And then we have head sketch tier. So this is the commemorative 30th anniversary head sketch. We have black and white in their new power suits. So this is kind of their first appearance right here with the new suits. I've been contacted by a lot of you guys for the 11x17 commissions. I'm trying to work some of that stuff out behind the scenes. And so we may be offering some new 11x17 commissions. So if you're in the market for something like that, it's character of choice. The only thing I ask is no nudes and no creator-owned IPs. Just established stuff. And then I think we have 2 more headshots. So I think the tier is almost sold out. So if you want to get one of these, get in soon before they sell out. And I'll come back. I'm going to go back to see what you guys have to say. And then I'll go over the tiers in a bit. So let me throw that link in the description. So you guys click that link, this one right here, and go check out the site. And if you like what you see, please back a tier. They will be shipping before you know it. Telsey is pretty hot, though. She's pretty. I don't know. If I was thinking like a Democrat, I'd be going, Tulsi Gabbard could be the first vice president and potentially the first president, but her claim to fame would be she's the first vice president that can actually speak without giggling and cackling like a hyena. She can actually make sense when she talks, and she has compassion and passion, and she seems fairly articulate. So, hey Phil, what's up? Good morning. Keita says Ron Paul is too old. Closest thing to a libertarian candidate that the GOP has is Vivek or Rand Paul. I always think like Ron Paul and Rand Paul. I always get those two mixed up. I think isn't like Rand Paul is the guy that was really he has some kind of like training in health, like as a doctor or something like that. And he's the guy that was taking on Fauci and the whole COVID stuff. So if that is indeed the case, I do like Rand Paul and Vivek. I like Vivek, but there's something underlying there that he almost seems too perfect. You know, like he just says all the right things, at least from what I've seen. They are both they're all puppets. To some extent, they're all puppets. The reason I do like Trump is he's a populist, and he seems to have done or got to where he's at mostly by financing it himself. I mean, he does take, money and has donors and stuff like that, but he seems fairly independent, and he's definitely not a politician. He's not a lifer. Von Coleman, hey Art, remember when you said you were going to host the professionals after my interview and you bailed? ? Liar. Yeah, a hurricane hit my house, you a-hole. How dare you? Yeah, I got hit with a hurricane. I never felt so betrayed in my life. Yeah, go crawl back under your rug. Crawl under your rock, Von Coleman, if that is your real name. How dare you? We got Woodrow. Sup chat. Checkpoint says, OMG, how do you make a chat seem whiny? That's funny. Well said. Well said. Oh, wait. Have you guys clicked on this yet? Perhaps you should. Chill, it's a beautiful morning. Send a DM, LOL. I don't know what that's in. Thank you, Past Master. Yeah, if you're in the market for original artwork, click that link. Yeah, wait. Okay, there we go. I do think there is. I don't think you can get that far without selling part of your soul. I'm messing. I hope so. So am I. You're not one of those guys that can kid, and then when the kid or kid's back at you, then you're like, hey man, I was just joking. Yeah, so was I. The female Secret Service agent has to be in Kamala's detail until she had a nervous breakdown. Possibly. Ron is better. Rand is all right, though. Rand is Ron's son. Oh my gosh, now I'm more confused than I was before. Oh, they are both doctors. Okay, cool. There is something about it. Yeah, it seems kind of like he's trying to sell you something. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been able, and I don't think anybody has really called him on anything specific. But there is something about the guy. Trump got the biggest tax cut in New York history by blackmail. His mentor was Ray Cohn. So Yeah, I don't think any of these guys are exempt from any kind of past sins. Rand is an eye doctor and got beat up and shot at. Ron Paul was the most base congressman ever. Vic, I have little to no info on him. Yeah. No, Von Coleman is a pin name. Yeah. You're hiding behind a pin name. This is his, so Von Coleman is his alias. He's a spy. What's up? Good afternoon. Still getting people in here. This is good. This is a good thing. But yeah, so about the security. Okay, there's shock, there's horror, there's this great national pride. There's all these things I'm feeling, but after the fact, you know, there's a little bit of I'm being careful. I don't want to say anger, but I am kind of angry that that shooter. I don't know much about sniping, and I don't know much about, you know, like all that stuff. But that guy had a clear shot at the president, and from what I understand, it wasn't like a 1 in a million shot. Like, it was a fairly easy shot to make. So the shooter climbed up on a roof. Tons of people saw. They alerted the police in the area. Nothing was done. He wasn't contained. He wasn't stopped. No one went on the roof and said, "Hey, put that rifle away." None of that happened, which should have happened. And so then, you know, the guys on the roof, it's documented. You know, I mean, thank goodness for X that, you know, this stuff is being posted and it's getting around. So the media can't cover it up. So I am thankful that Elon Musk bought that, and that at least that truth is coming out. And so there's that. He wasn't apprehended. He wasn't told to stand down. They didn't take the rifle from him. As far as I know, there was no confrontation or situation at all with boots on the ground that were over in that area. So, one, why were there police in the area? Period. Are they just crowd control? You know, there was a guy with a high-powered rifle that climbed up with a ladder onto the roof and had a clear line of sight to Donald Trump. Right there, like, that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have got even to the point of him being on the rooftop. They should have stopped him before that. But anyway, I mean, there might have been, I don't know how much time lapsed, you know, if it was seconds. I don't think it was, I think it was probably minutes. I think there was enough time. But anyway, I'm armchairing, you know, you know, I'm at the safety of my studio, you know, talking to you guys on YouTube. So I don't really know what the actual scenario was, but there's a flag for me right there. Then there was security. I would think security were supposed to, before the speech even happened, before the rally even happened, they were supposed to secure the area, figure out all angles of how the president could be attacked, right? And so there's this building seemingly straight across from the stage, almost like it was perfectly orchestrated for the shot. And then there's snipers on the roof, and there you see it later, you know, that they were beside the president. And I think that one that was videotaped is the one, the sniper, the security sniper that made the shot. But he shot after the sniper shot. So I've heard all kinds of amounts of bullets shot. So I don't know how many bullets the sniper got off, and how many the security sniper shots got off. So I don't know. I've heard 6, I've heard 8 shots total. So I don't know. But the guy had a high-powered rifle. He was laying on a roof. The rifle was aimed at the president. A sniper seemingly had him in his sights and waited for the murderer, the assassin, to shoot first and then shot. And then I was listening to various things, and then there's this. It's like, well, they can't shoot until there's a shot already fired. You're supposed to protect President Trump. You're supposed to protect that man. That's your job. How can you protect him if you let somebody shoot first? It was an inch away from killing him. It killed a man behind him. It wounded. There were two other shots that wounded 2 other people. Like, how the fuck does this happen? You know, like, you can go, oh well, let's focus on the little security woman that couldn't, be a body shield for a 6'3", president. Well, fine, but why was that guy allowed to shoot at all? I mean, even if that sniper would have shot and missed the guy, let's say some kind of weird compassion, I can't shoot to kill until he fires off a shot. If he just would have distracted that guy, just popped a bullet right next to him, a couple bullets next to him, like stand down, like an old Western or something like that. Stand down. If you continue, I'm going to shoot you, right? And so then if the guy doubles down and still's going to make the shot and doesn't, back down, then you shoot him. But he could have done anything. And then I'm not buying into like the Secret Service, the security couldn't shoot until the assassin shot first. From what I understand, they knew he was there. Like that sniper, the security knew he was there. Why was he allowed to shoot? Why wasn't he killed before he pulled the trigger? You're there to protect the president. That's your job. 3 innocent people that were just going to a rally to support, their candidate. 2 are in critical condition and 1 is dead. That's blood on your hands, right? The president was an inch away from dying, from being killed. What the fuck good are you if you weren't going to make the shot? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And if this is indeed is a law, then why are they even there? If you can just shoot the president and then that's it, right? You can shoot the president and you can scamper off and then they'll go get you afterwards, right? What if the guy had an escape plan? What if the sniper, the security sniper missed? What then? Then the guy would be on the run. You'd go after him. It's a manhunt now. Well, this is complete incompetence. I just don't know how this even happens. I don't. It boggles my mind. None of this should have happened. Do you realize how close that we came to some crazy civil unrest? If that bullet hit Donald Trump, we would be talking, we'd have a different reality right now. The whole world would be different. That crowd, like you guys have said, they're not the type to back down, and that's just a small group of Trump supporters. Uh, I posted. I saw this and my heart was so warmed. I used to live in Huntington Beach, right? And so there was a bunch of Trump supporters in front of Duke's, right by the Huntington Beach Pier. I lived right off Main Street on Fifth Street. Like I could see all that from my apartment when I lived there. And so, oh my gosh, it was such a cool apartment. Yeah, I was a block from the beach. It was so badass. It was awesome. But so there were a bunch of Trump not protesters, but supporters. They had banners, they had flags. You know, they were walking, down the pier. They were walking on PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, which is a major, beach highway. And I was like, yeah, those are my HB people. And so then I saw various places throughout Southern California where there were Trump supporters being known, and they were walking and they had their signs and, make America great and all that stuff. And I was like, I think somebody posted, you've awakened a sleeping giant or something like that. So I think there are some people that were on the fence. And I think they're waking up. I think the debates, with Biden just being a complete, just checked out completely, has showed people a lot. And then, the assassination attempt of Donald Trump, I think people are seeing things for themselves. Let me see. I'm going back. The chat just erupted. Well, it's because you have no soul. I haven't got that cynical and jaded yet. Like you think things, you have these abstracts in your brain and you're just kind of like, what's the next move for, this progressive, Democratic Party, and then you have people like Tucker Carlson and other people say, well, you're going to have to put Donald Trump down. That's the only way. And then I'm thinking, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't automatically want to go there and go, yeah, that's fact, that's truth. And then when you see it, then you kind of start realizing the reality of how far possibly, I've heard them mention the deep state, like that's another thing, like who are these people, like that's always a problem for me. It's like, who are these people described as the deep state? There's obviously outside influences coming into the country, the globalists, things like that. So I don't really know. These are those questions that I don't know if we'll ever fully have answers to, because they're always going to seem conspiratorial, because most of these people, they just kind of lurk in the shadows. You'll never know who they are. Emerald Whack says people on site said it was at least 3 to 4 minutes from when they alerted police to any response. No, shouldn't have happened. Local police should have taken care of this, or whoever was on site around that building. I mean, there's videotape. You can't deny it. There are people shouting for the police. And if the security sniper knew, which it seems like he did, because it seems like his rifle was trained on that guy, then why didn't local PD deal with it, or whoever the security was on the ground by where the assassin was? Why was it allowed 3 to 4 minutes? Just give them a written invitation. Hey, go ahead. shoot away. That shouldn't have happened. And then if that sniper, the security sniper, knew and had that guy in his crosshairs, then that guy should have been shot before he even pulled the trigger. Because what did they think he was going to do? What did they think his motive was going to be? Oh, we have to wait for him to kill the president before we can react? What's the point of anything? What's the point of you even being there if the president could be shot and then you're going to apprehend the assassin afterwards or shoot him dead? It's horrible, horrible. That's when my conspiracy hat comes on, because that's when you think, okay, that guy was shot dead, the assassin. He'll never be able to testify. His word will never be spoken. We'll never have testimonial. We'll never know anything other than what the information gatherers will gather and what our piece of shit media will feed us. That's all we're ever going to know about this guy, and there's not going to be a trial where people can go and document it and be there and hear his testimonial. Nothing. We're just going to have to take it on faith that whatever the media tells us this guy is what it is. And so I don't think anybody's ever really going to know. But I do think the security team completely botched it. And if Trump didn't turn his head, that would have been a kill shot. And we would all be talking differently right now. I don't know what the civil unrest would look like, but I don't think it would have been good. Spambot says, I think it was just a crazy guy looking for notoriety, and Trump just didn't have the full security as he's not currently president. Yeah, but if the security sniper indeed knew he was on the roof and had a kill shot, why did the sniper, the assassin, why was he allowed to shoot? Why wasn't he stopped? See the video of the woman behind Trump who looks like she was expecting it. I've heard that too. There's like this video of one of the security guy clearing behind the stage there, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, there was something going on, and I've heard people say, like, legally or something, they have to fire first before security can fire. That doesn't seem truthful, because if you're supposed to be security and stop the president from being assassinated, that's how you stop him. What did they think that guy was going to do? Had a high power rifle. He had a line of sight. Oh, he's going to shoot. He's going hunting. He's going to shoot some quail. He's going to shoot a deer. Fader 7 says, Admiral Wackass, yeah, the video I'm watching has it synced with the speech. People saw him crawling 2 minutes ahead of time. Yeah, if that guy was just stopped by security, if the police just stopped and told him to stand down, hell, there was a ladder. They could have climbed the ladder and just came up behind him and just told him to stand down, walk away from the rifle. The threat is obvious. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you're, and that's not true. What I'm not sure what that's what you're talking about there. Not when you are doing a presidential security detail. Yeah, did I miss something? Yeah, spam bot. I'm going back to the crazy guy looking for notoriety. I'm hoping that that's the case. You know, kind of like when Reagan was shot, you know, or Lennon. It didn't have any deeper, you know, thing. But I think the bigger conspiracy or the bigger questions that I have are just how was that guy allowed to even get off a shot? Checkpoint says the whole thing gets odd when you look further into it. Yeah, like I said, I got pretty good logic and I'm not automatically a conspiracy. Like I don't just go right into this stuff. But I'm just thinking, just based on the line of sight alone, why wasn't there somebody from the security detail on that roof? You know, my wife said something about they were looking in the trees. The trees are always where they hide, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, have somebody looking in the trees. You know, like this guy wasn't trying to even hide anything. This sniper, he, this assassin, he knew he was going to die. He had to. You know, he wasn't trying to hide the gun. He wasn't trying to really hide. He was right on a rooftop, you know. Kevin Everson says, sit ops, think long, think wrong. So is that if you think too long about it, then bad things can happen? I don't know what that means. And then Trump not being immediately rushed off, but instead being allowed to raise his fist in the air in victory seems odd. Well, the security, I assume they have had earpieces. So I I think they probably knew that the threat had been put down. Um, that's the way I took that. Yeah, I heard that. Like, get his shoes, get his shoes. And those chicks weren't physically gonna move him. Yeah, yeah. Biden has Parkinson's. Yeah. Are these the vice president names? Anthony Blinken and Victoria Nuland, for starters, but most you'll never know their name. Yes, you guys, go back this. Please. Oh, ho, ho, good news. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you guys. Let me see. Let me see what's going on here. You guys are the best. Oh yes. Oh yes. Okay. All right. All right. Let's do this. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, let's do that. Got to get rid of some of these tabs. I have something that's fun I want to share with you guys too. Let's present. I'm presenting myself to you guys right now. Don't expect much. All right. Oodles of doodles and other stuff too. We are at 9,723, 68 backers. Let's hit refresh. 68, 69, 69, dude. All right. Not just whoa, 10,000, but well over 10,000. Thank you so much. Double digits makes my heart sing. So thanks, guys, for supporting and backing. I do appreciate that. So now we're over halfway to 11K. So Pamela's at she's got Bible studies, so she's going to be happy when she sees this. So thank you guys. Thanks for all the support. I do appreciate it. Got a good bunch of people here. Let's see what whack ass has to say. DHS consolidating security agencies is a horrible thing for every American. People really don't realize how many rights they have lost since 2001. Yeah, I mean, I think one of the beginning of the ends was the what was it called? The Patriot Act. Oh, the Patriot Act. Yeah, there you go. There's a bunch of rights given away right there. Let me see. I'm a slow reader. I heard something like that, or downsize. But I mean, all ex-presidents have security and their families, I believe, until they pass. I think even their families have security until they pass. And one of the things too is sometimes, like Barron, the president's Trump's son, comes on stage with them. Holy shit! My gosh! Yeah, let's not forget that security sniper, the supposed good guy. If he would have shot that guy too, those innocent people behind Donald Trump wouldn't have been shot. That blood is on their hands. I don't care. I don't care. That guy would be alive today. That pisses me off. Uh, uh, Tartan Ninja Studios says, afternoon, CG. Yeah, right back at you, my brother. Antonio Cardenas, they think that they're all retarded. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you guys, click this link. Let's get that thing to 11K today. Yeah, baby. Great job on the likes, you guys. There's always room for some more backers, some more support with your social media for Oodles of Doodles, and likes for this this live stream. Also, you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit that bell for notifications. They said he was a felon and didn't deserve protection. Well, fuck them. They can say whatever the hell they want. He's still the ex-president. He still has a family, you know. The progressive left are completely out of their mind. They're power crazed lunatics. Yes, they were trying to push a bill that if convicted of a felony, you lose your security detail. These guys also act like these things don't apply to them. Like somehow they're immune from these laws that they pass. Like you go after an ex-president for things that he did when he was the president or whatever, you know, why would you think they can't come after you? Once that that bar has been set, they can do the same to you. That's why these idiots that talk about freedom of speech, and then they at the same time they're talking about hate speech and all these other things that should be monitored or eliminated. It's like, okay, that's the speech you don't like at this moment in time. But let's say 10 years from now, somebody decides that what you're saying is hate speech. You never think that this is going to come back on you? Like, you think things will never change? You're crazy naive. Dillard Draws, good morning, my friend. How are you? Got some Dillard fans out there. Hey, Art, colored that Jubilee piece you posted. Hope you like it. Did you tag me in it? When did you post it? I'll check it out. When did you post it? Can you send me a DM? I'll show people what it looks like now. Send me a DM. Yeah, I'll show it. I'll show it off. Do. I don't see anything. Let me see notifications. Yeah, my computer's running slow. Huh. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it, you guys. Yeah, DM me, and I'll try to. I'll post it up. You guys hear like Mark Wade and different people are just saying crazy stuff. Oh wait, hold on. I got to show you guys this as I'm going through stuff. This is my old stomping grounds here. This is what I was talking about. Huntington Beach.
Now, guys, right now, Huntington Beach, California.
Out there, there's Duke. The ocean is on the left side. Yeah, I live right up the street from this.
Si se puede, Trump. Si se puede, Trump.
Street right there. That's where I live. We're city, baby. USA. USA. Yeah, that warmed my heart. That warmed the cockles of my heart. Sorry about that, Tartan. I tried. Okay. Now, children. Shut up, Dillard. Thank you, Frankie. Mark Wade is saying crazy stuff. I'm shocked. Yeah, Wade, and I think God, what? And I didn't see any of these things. I think he pulled it down anyways. Like Jimmy Palmiotti was calling to boycott Sticker Mule of all people because I don't know, they support Donald Trump or something. I don't know. Like, your candidate, Joe Biden, is a lame duck. Why are you arguing and fighting for somebody who clearly can't do the job? Like, you are arguing for the lowest common denominator. You're defending somebody who can't do the job at the very least. You know what I mean? Like Donald Trump could do the job. He might not do the job that you want, but he can do the job. He can go out and he can explain things. He can talk. You can understand him. You know, he can explain a situation. Joe Biden cannot. Joe Biden can barely walk off stage. And Joe Biden condescending to him, like, you did good, Joe. You answered all the questions. Like, holy shit. This is her in public. She talks to him like a child in public. Like, I'm thinking she talks worse than that to him or completely ignores him in their normal life. Like, she just has her own life and doesn't even have any contact with them. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Can you believe CBS tried to already vilify President Trump? Say he should have said he needed to say that they needed to cool the temperature instead of say what he did. The man was just shot at. Yeah, well, they're gonna say all the crazy shit. They've been telling you that Joe Biden is fine. He's as sharp as a tack. Multiple Democrats have been saying this. News outlets, left-leaning news outlets have been saying this stuff to you. Those shrews on The View have been saying this. Like, they're all clearly lying. People have eyes, they have a brain. I don't quite understand when you go out of your way to support somebody who can't do the job. Yeah, I think so too. Sticker Mule said they support Trump in this time and are against violence, as well as saying they have Republicans and Democrat people just need to see each other as people again. Well, that seems completely reasonable. Yeah. Yeah, I heard that he pulled it down after, yeah. Yeah, they're just a company, you know? Tank Fair says pure fear mongering. That's why. Yeah, well, they can manipulate people. They can get them, wrapped up in fear. That's another topic of discussion for later. But just the media and possibly how much responsibility they have in this situation, and other politicians. There's a whole montage of Democrats saying that, calling for violence, calling for violent action, things like that. So, they're trying to get, Trump for January 6th. There are people that are behind bars, for this so-called insurrection, which it was not an insurrection. And they're saying that Trump started it. Well, if Trump started all that by your logic and your, loosely trying to fit things together, then all those things that you said, could you not say that's what led to this assassin? Could you not make the same assumption based on the crazy logic that you you used to tie Donald Trump and calling this an insurrection when it wasn't? I don't know. I always remember that joke that George Carlin says it's like standards, changing standards. He says one standard will do just fine. Let's just have one standard. Everybody can live by it and stop with the double standards. It would make things a little bit more consistent, easier to understand, but that's not what they're about. Yes, Spambot, you are very much welcome. Thank you. I'm going to wrap this up because I got a lot of work to do. Oh my gosh, this black and white stuff is coming along so Oh, you guys are gonna love volume 3. My gosh, it's so neat when you can kind of just keep plussing things and make things better and better and better. This book is it's going places and elevating in ways that I couldn't have predicted, and plussing these stories and these this designs and the characters and everything. I think you guys are going to love this stuff. I mean, I'm excited every day, seeing the work progress, and I'll be able to show you the cover very, very soon. October is right around the corner, man. I cannot believe how quick time moves. I mean, we're over halfway through the year. um I just feel there's just not enough hours in the day to get all this stuff done. you know but I do want to thank you guys for all the support with Oodles of Doodles and other stuff too. The backings, getting the word out there with all your social media, everything. I do appreciate it. You guys are the best. Let me see here. Yeah, and I'm gonna leave you with this. I think this is hilarious. Let's see. I hope you guys can see this. Play it again. There it is. Look at this Deadpool, like full on statue. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's the way to promote a film. This is like San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Wonder how much that cost. That's pretty cool though, you guys. I'm gonna definitely see that movie. It looks really fun. Let me touch base before I take off. Jeff Potts. Trump started this by daring to run for the presidency. Yeah, it's all his fault. Joe Bernardo, when you post and delete, he knows that was bad taste. After this, the left drinking Kool-Aid left will see that America has really woken up. I hope so. I always said that it's the silent majority that's going to bring sanity back to this country. And I think uh, that minority or majority are starting to see things, because it's getting like the mainstream left can't hide it anymore. The propaganda, the truth is getting out. And so people are now able to see the truth. They're able to see that Biden is not coherent. They're able to see that some kind of shenanigans are going on when you try to kill the president or a presidential candidate. Like you're trying to strike him down before he can even, before election day. I think so. Yeah, it was awesome looking. Yeah, yeah, the moral majority. Um, All right. All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic day. Thanks again for getting Oodles to 10K. I do appreciate that. Let's keep the backing going. We're closing in on 11, so we're over halfway there. So the Kings tonight, hopefully. So maybe I'll see you guys there. Maybe we get a couple more backers. That would be fantastic. So you guys keep the faith. I do think that good came out of strangely good came out of this assassination attempt. I think Donald Trump was able to do that, and I do see him as a uniter at the very least versus a detractor. I mean, I saw all over Twitter people posting that they were Democrats, that they were on the fence, whatever, and now they are definitely Trump supporters, because like what he did was was amazing. It's what you want your leaders to do. You know, you want them to say, let's keep fighting, you know, and you're not going to slow me down. That, and like he went to Milwaukee the next day. He's continuing, he's not slowing down. You know, I think that was amazing. Also, I was thinking, you know, when he got COVID, you know, he got a shot and they called him names for getting the shot, but you know, he missed one day of work. He was back at work the next day. You know, I mean, this is a hardworking guy. This is a guy that's not taking naps in the middle of the day. This is not that guy. This is a guy that's proactive. This is a guy that's getting things done, you know. And I like that. I like that. And when he talks, when his family talks, when uh, people supporting him talk, I relate to it and I can understand it. When the left talk and these progressive knuckleheads talk, I can't decipher. I can't understand it. Grace under pressure or fire. I'm gonna let Joe be the last word. Aloha, Art, and chat. Go vote Trump. God bless President Trump. Yes, yes, indeed. All right, you guys. I hopefully will see you tonight. You guys have a wonderful day and take care.